And welcome back to Graphic Gets Good. Today we've got a deck profile for you. It's a deck profile I've already done for BT6, but I took a look at it, I pulled it to pieces and rebuilt it from the ground up because I felt like it had too many pieces for its combos, and I wanted to build a more streamlined and more effective version of that deck, and I think I've definitely done it. This is the deck I took to my store championship, and as you can see, I got my store participation the Agumon, and then I got the store championships card because I took first place with this deck. I had some interesting matchups. Obviously BT6 is quite fresh, but I managed to match up with a Lord Nightmon deck, which was running BT6 techs, a BT6 security control, and then 2 Jasmon. So it definitely wasn't an easy go for me. I did have some tense games, but I feel like this deck has a good way to play around all those decks, especially Lord Nightmon. Lord Nightmon struggles with this deck, but we'll get into the deck profile, look at the pieces, what I feel are the strong pieces, and if there was anything I'd change, I'd let you know. But I will let you know the 2 things I've already changed out of this. So for the eggs, we have the new Demi Mirror. It just allows you, when attacking, when this Digimon attacks a player, so attacking security for gain 1k DP, which is nice because very rarely you interacting with your opponent's Digimon by attacking him, it's usually option cards. So swinging into security, giving you that extra K, it comes up quite often. And then just for the 5th, just a Digimon. When your opponent has 5 or more cards in his trash, gain 1k DP. You hate to see this one first. You really want to see these. But there's definitely been times where I've needed that 5th egg. So this is the ratio I'm going to stick with. I don't think there's anything I'll change with these. But yeah, the ratios are kind of strange. BT6 is showing us that there's other ways to build decks, and this is definitely one of them that does that. So then we're going into the massive amount of level 3s I play. So 2 Agumon Expert. He's just good on play, bring back an Agumon you need. So if you had, say, turn 1 had to Digivolve up into the Bond of Bravery Agu, already killed him, you need him for a combo piece, just play this, bring him back. 2 of the Tamer Searcher Agu. I very rarely hard play him, only when I'm desperate for a Tamer. I'll play him, and it's got a good search range, 5 cards, so if you are missing a Tamer, more than likely you're going to grab one. 2 of the starter deck Agumon from the first starter deck, just 1k DP. It's just a, with this deck you only really want to run Agumon. The Agumon Expert sadly doesn't proc the effect of the promo Greymon, but all the others do, and that's a big part of your deck as well. So 1k DP, it's nice. Will you use it that often? No, you kind of want to see other Agumon, but it's just a way to bolster up your Agumon with one that we'll see play. Then we run 2 of the 2-drop Agumon from BT3. This is very rarely played. It's just a way to choke my opponent. I can play an Agu, put him to 2, and he's still a source for the promo Greymon and the Bond of Bravery. Yeah, I won't get the security attack +1, but if I need one, and it also just allows me to essentially play 2 Agumon in a turn. If I'm on 3 memory, play this, play another one, put my opponent to 2, build my board wide, because this deck can play very Rookie Rush. Then we've got 4 of the Bond of Bravery Agumon. I went over this in my previous deck profile, but just do it again quickly. When he's in play, when you play a Tamer with Tai in its name, gain 1 memory. Very rarely does that come up because I usually keep him in raising if I've got him, and usually if I'm Digivolving to him I have Tai. If not, I'm usually just throwing him at security, so very rarely does that come up just because you don't leave things live on board. Stops your opponent from interacting with you, which shuts down a lot of decks. And then it's inheritable when it is Bond of Bravery, gains security attack +1, which is amazing. It allows you to swing for 3 security with the Bond of Bravery after trashing, after deleting one of their Digimon. And then just the 4 Agumon from the new starter deck. When you attack an opponent, gain 2k DP. This is an amazing card. It's not to be sniffed at. It allows you to, if you have it under Bond of Bravery and you want to swing big, make sure he survives. If you're dropping yourself to 0 security, and him surviving is going to make a difference, it's nice to have. Or if you're swinging, want to just like swing into something big, clear it off the board with him. That way you can still trash something, which is quite nice. But this is mainly for your Greymons. Even the security Greymon, digivolving him on top of this, you make him 7k with the Demi Mirror 8k, which can swing over things or crash into things. There's a way to maybe crash with a level 5 that I've suspended, but it's mainly for that Greymon, just so you can swing him 8k 2 checks. That is it for the rookies. So how many did we play? I'll go over ratios. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12 13 14 15 16. So we played 16. It's not a massive amount more. Usually see 13 14, but you would think it guarantees I see an Agumon open hand, but there's been games where I have had to search what feels like half my deck just to see an Agumon. But it's the same with any deck. Every deck is able to brick. Then we've got the level 4s. This is one of the areas I made a change, and we'll go over that. But previously I was running the standard security Greymon, the one that just in security comes out and play, but he never came up in security, and I was only running 2 of him, and I felt there was a better option, so I run 4 Agumon. Originally I was running 3 of these and 2 of the Greymon. So I was playing 2 of this Greymon. In security, at the end of the battle, play this card out. It's a 4k body. It's nice just to kind of plus on your board, but he didn't come up. And it felt bad digivolving into him or hard playing him, because technically you're just playing 5 to hard play a 4k body that isn't really going to do much. And I just felt having an extra Goonie and an extra option worked better, because there was a time where I saw this, and if I had Naguni, I would have killed my opponent a turn earlier, which, you know, I still won, but it would have been able to get that aggressive attack out then and now. Then we run 4 of the promo Greymon. This is MVP of the deck. Like I said, swinging with the new starter deck Agumon and the Demi Mirror, means just swinging 8k 2 checks. There's a good chance you're going to survive with that, and even if you don't survive, there's a good chance you're going to get the second check. So even if I swing him in, get 2 checks, I'm fine with that, and he dies. If he survives, even better, because then my opponent needs to either destroy him or put a blocker up that's going to stop him. But then if I swing again, he's going to be swinging at 8k, which is going to destroy a blocker. So he's an amazing card. He causes so much pressure. If you get him out turn 2, swing 2 checks, drop him to 3 security, and you're able to play something else as well, because if you digivolved in Raising, is filthy. And I love this card. I would never drop any more. Never drop it to any lower than 4. And then we run 4 Geo Greymon. I have a love-hate relationship with this card. He loves to come up in my hand, not security. And then even when he's sitting in my hand, they have nothing 4k or less for me to destroy. But there has been a couple of times he did get hit in security, and he killed something that would have killed me. So I can't, in good conscience, take him out. I think, even though he doesn't prop up very often, even digivolving on top of that Agumon, like I said, pushing him to 7, 8k with the Demi Mirror, just swinging into something is nice. It's also, because of the Tamers we run, you could digivolve into him swing and gain memory from the Marcus as well, which that happened today. I moved up an Agumon, gained 2 memory from 2 ties, digivolved into him, went back, swung with him, gained back those 2 memory from Tyke swinging with a Greymon. So it just allowed me to do that extra bit of damage and keep memory, which was nice. But again, hard playing him, killing something small. Today he was hitting security, come out and killed a Bushy, which just felt amazing because the Lord Knight had just played him. But that is it for the 4s. Same as last deck, we don't play any 5s. There was a bit of a discussion, do we run Agumon? I think he could be an interesting tech, but at least for me, this has worked amazing. Like I said, I won Store Champ with this, and I only lost one game in the local, and that was against Lilith Loop, or Tighter Lilith Loop. and I just didn't draw good, and they had everything. I got looped, and I swear it took about 5-10 minutes for one turn. But you know, every deck bricks. It was the only loss that I've had with this deck, so I'm not too sad about it. And then for the 6s and 7s, we do run a 6. It is just Magnadramon. So Magnadramon allows you to gain 2 memory when being hard played for 11. Gain 2 security if you're 3 or lower security. What this allows you to do is if you drop yourself to 0 security with a Bond of Bravery, he no longer dies. And because that check happens when you Digivolve. So if you then recover 2, he still survives. So you can Digivolve into him, swing, do all his shenanigans, and hard play him. Yeah, you put your opponent to 10, but then they have to deal with a Magna and a Bond, and that Bond can then swing for potentially killing something and clear security as well. So it makes them have to deal with it. I was thinking of dropping this, maybe run extra security, a security option, you know, just something that's going to proc in security and do some damage, but it did win me 2 games yesterday. So again, even if it doesn't come up that often, even if I see it in security more often than I'd like, it does have its purpose and it does win games. So 1 of is perfectly fine for me. If he doesn't come up for the next week, that's fine, because I know at one time he's going to come up and he's going to change the game. And then we run 4 of the man himself, Bond of Bravery. This, I was never planning on playing Bond of Bravery, and I think I said this in the other video, but I was going to play Bond of Friendship first, but I didn't keep enough of the blue rares and commons because I sold a lot of the stuff just while the prices were high. I sold a lot of stuff and only kept a few things for myself until my case turned up. So I sold everything for Bond of Friendship accidentally, so this was my other option if I wanted to play Bond. So I built the ancient version. It was fun, but it felt like there was too many combo pieces and didn't think it was consistent enough. So I then, scoured the internet, looked at a few builds from JP, saw one that I liked the look of, and then took inspiration from that, and then built this, which is like pseudo security / security control / champion rush. Because there's games I won, like yesterday, I think it was 2 of the games, I didn't even play a Bond of Bravery. I won just from like playing out options, clearing their board, and swinging with rookies and champions. So he didn't even come up, and I still won the game. So it's just such an aggressive deck. But 4 of you wouldn't play any less in this style of deck. And he's just an amazing card. And I think I prefer this to the Friendship. I'm planning on playing the Friendship, Bond of Friendship, on Thursday in the local. So you'll see a deck profile then. Maybe I'll change my tune then, but at the moment I really do love Bond of Bravery. So that is it for the 6s and 7s. I will look at Tamers. Normally I do Tamers and options together, but there's a ton of them, so we'll do Tamers then the options. So we've got 4 Taikamiya. Your turn. If you have a Digimon, if you raise a Digimon with Agumon or Greymon, gain 1 memory and draw 1. It's such a good effect, especially when you have multiple out and like your memory tamer. It just allows you to sit on tons of memory, which you don't need in this deck, but it allows you to do things like double play options. So you could get rid of you could do board wipes with it. It puts you on enough memory so you really have a ton of things to play with. But that draw power as well, just being able to draw in those pieces you're missing, is great. And I just wouldn't, there'd be no reason to ever drop it down from 4. And obviously his other effect is it allows you to warp Digivolve into Bond of Bravery, trash into security, and then if your security's at 0, more than 0, he dies in that turn. And then we've got 3 Marcus. I wasn't a fan of Marcus last time. I felt like he didn't do enough, and there was enough opportunities for him to come up. But I don't think that's this card's fault. I think it's how I was playing the deck. I wasn't playing it the right way. I was relying too much on this and not really going for a Marcus, because you get 1 Marcus down, you're going to 3. Get a Marcus in a tire, when you bring something from raising, you're going to 4. And then if you get a couple of tires down, going to 5, 6, and it just snowballs. And being able, the thing is, you run 8 Greymon. It doesn't sound like a lot, but that's 8 opportunities to potentially gain more memory, and everyone loves gaining memory. And it came up tonight. It didn't come up as much in the store champ yesterday, but it still did. But tonight, this put in so much work, and I wouldn't run any more than 3 though. I think 8 Tamers is a lot. 7 still feels like quite a bit, but you can work with that because then you've got 7 targets for your Agumon, which I was tempted to run the original Star Deck Tire, which just, it's a 2 cost, gives, I believe it's a 2 cost, I should probably check that. It gives a Digimon 1k DP on your turn, which it's a 2 cost Digimon I can 2 cost Tamer I can hard play this, potentially Agumon fodder, but it then means my Greymon can go up to 9k when it swings, which is scary because then it's out of, the only thing that's going to kill it is level 6 or like a vanilla 5, which with high DP, so it puts him in a scary position. That's an option. I'm not sure if I will. I think this works well, maybe as a one-off, just to extra Agumon source, and just so I can play multiple Tamers if I need it, and for that extra 1k DP just in case. But that is it for the Tamers. Then we've got the options. There's a couple of options in here. Well, there's at least one option here I wasn't sure of. I saw it, I thought this could be a game changer, but it's not a good option. You wouldn't run any more than one of this, and that is Gravity Crush. Gain 2 memory at the end of your turn, lose 2 memory. So it's a memory borrower. You gain 2 memory, gives you the option to do some extra things your turn, and then your opponent gets the extra 2 memory next turn. There was a time in the championship where I only had a tire, I had an Agumon, there was no way I was going to 3. They put me to 1, and I top drew this, played this, went to 3, could go into my bond, and that won me the game. It does show up in my security a lot. I'm very unlucky it doesn't have any security effect. It feels like Hammer Spark, gain 2 memory, that would have been really nice, but it has nothing. It is a 0 cost, gain nothing in security option card that gives you 2 memory temporarily, but it works. It's come up, it's put in work. I wouldn't drop it. If you don't have this card, I don't think that's going to make a difference, but for me, having the option of it showing up and being able to gain that memory when you potentially don't have a Marcus is amazing, because no one expects it. No one expects you to play Gravity Rush. They think if I put him to 1, there's nothing he can do. He's never going to gain the memory. Obviously, this makes it so you can. Then you play 1 Red Reamer. This is a great option card. I'm toying with bumping it up to 2. So its effect, unless they have 3 Digimon, isn't that impressive. So for 4, kill a 6k body. If they 3 Digimon out, kill a 13k body. It allows you to kill blockers, which is nice, but spending 4 memories potentially going to pass your turn. It has come up where I've been able to clear big things with it, and especially against swarm decks like Jesmon, it comes up more often. So I'm tempted to run 2 of it just for that matchup and drop another option. But it's just, if I had this sit in my hand, and like I said, if I had 2 of this sit in my hand instead of the other option, I'd feel pretty bad because the other one's more versatile. And that one is Atomic Blaster. So this card is amazing. For 5 memory, kill 8k DP's worth of your opponent's Digimon. So they've got 4 rookies at 2k, kill all 4. If they've got a 5k blocker and a 3k rookie, kill both. If they've got a 6k blocker and a 2k rookie, kill both. They've got an 8k level 5, kill it for 5. 5 isn't expensive, especially when you go into 3, 4, potentially 5 memory. There's times when I've played this, not past turn, killed their blocker and gone for game. Yes, you can do it with Red Reamer, but being able to kill multiple things, so you could play this, kill both the system on a Jesmon. It's now got no blockers, where with this you don't be able to kill you'd be able to kill the Jesmon or one sister or the other. With this, you get that option of multi-kills. Maybe drop it, run a 2-3 split, but I'm just not sure. I'm just not convinced that that would be the best option. I think as for it's beautiful hitting security, you're either killing a 5 or a 4 or 3. And I don't think there's been a time where I've had this where I wished it was Red Reamer. There's definitely times where I've had Red Reamer where I wished it was Atomic Blaster. But then for the final 4 options, good old faithful Gaia Force. I was going to swap it for the new art, but you know what? I like the original art for it. So everyone knows what this card does. On play, delete one of your opponent's Digimon. Security effect, activate this effect. So this will kill anything that isn't a Omnimon Blitz that can trash one of its Digivolution sources to stop the effect from happening. It feels amazing when it's hitting security, and to be fair, if I'm put to full memory and I play this and kill something big on their board, put them back at 4, I don't feel bad about that because they can't build up as quick from 4. There is definitely times where I've used this to kill a level 5, where if I had this I could have killed it, or if I had this I could have killed it, but I just think running any less than 4 isn't worth it, because if this hits in security, you're killing something on their board no matter what it is. So that is it for the options, and that is it for the deck. As for things that have changed, I think we went over it. I don't think there's anything I would change for now. There's maybe a couple of cards I'd tweak the ratios of, and that's mainly in the options, and potentially find room for a 2-cost tie, but I don't think it's needed. But so this is my complete Bond of Bravery / security / champion rush deck. It's been amazing playing this. It's been such fun, and it tears through some of the scary decks. And my matchups for the store champs were round 1 Lord Knight, round 2 security control, round 3 and 4 Jesmon. Out of those, the one that gave me the most trouble probably was the security control, but once I just played around and kept deleting his things when he played it, because I had the options to do that, and it was just like a back and forth chipping away. I'd bring out a Gravemon, swing 2 checks, it would die, I'd then play something to kill something on his board, and we'd just go back and forth. That was probably the hardest matchup. And then today in our local, round 1 was Lilith Loop Titer, which just didn't go well for me. I'll definitely upload that video because it really showcases the purple deck. I flop, I just get obliterated in it, but it is a very, very strong deck. Round 2 was, now I'm thinking round 2 was, let me have a look. So round 2 was Yellow Mastimon. That wasn't very difficult, just because the problem with a Yellow Mastimon, and I've built one myself, I don't think it's ready for a deck profile yet, just because it's not complete. The problem with it is you just invest so much in building up, and there's so much removal in the game. If it gets popped, you've wasted all that time. So sadly, he had a really bad matchup against me, because I don't leave anything on the board for him to interact with. And if he trashes something on my security, I'm not too sad about it, because I blast through his security, and the second he puts something on board, if I've got a bond, I can destroy it. If I've got option, I can destroy it. So he's going into these big things, and I'm just destroying them. Round 3 was a Hexablow list. He didn't have any of the BT6 stuff, so it was a BT5 Hexablow. Obviously, this is the first tournament, first local for us where BT6 is legal. It only officially came out on the 15th over here. So that was just against Hexa, and again, I don't leave anything on the board for him to interact with, so he couldn't reduce any sources, rip any sources, because there was nothing to rip. And I'd just play a Gaia Force, kill his Hexablow. I would go into Bond, kill his Hexablow. I was able just to keep removing it, so I didn't really do much. And then round 4 was Lord Knight. So I went up against Lord Knight again. This was a BT5 Lord Knight, but again, I feel like it has such a bad matchup against this, because I don't leave anything on the board for him to interact to reduce his DP. I've got so many removal options where I can kill multiple things, kill his big thing, or even just, kill something little. I was just able to deal with everything he played, wipe his board. He'd have to build up again. I'd just play a champion rookie or champion, swing in, not care if it lived or died, remove his stuff again. So he was this constant battle of him having to build up. So this does a really good job against Lord Knight. I think Lord Knight still is powerful in this meta, but decks like this and Bond of Friendship that just don't care about building up. They don't care what's going on with your opponent's board because you're just going to keep swinging through it. It's going to struggle with. It may have a good matchup against Jessamon. I'm not too sure because they're both very much build up and attack decks. I just think red doesn't have as much search power as yellow, so I think out of that matchup you may see Lord Knight does a better job. But other than that, this has been my Agumon Bond of Bravery deck profile. Like I said, I went back to the drawing board, completely tore apart my ancient Agumon because I feel like this is the better version to play. It served me really well. I'd love to hear any additional text you'd make to it, but I think this is, for me at least, perfect. I don't think I'll be changing anything. This is how it will be now. I am retiring it for now though. I want to try and play multiple decks this format, like I said. So Thursday I'm going to be playing Bond of Friendship, and next Sunday I'm thinking of playing something special, a D Brigade, a BT6 D Brigade, so that's going to be fun. But other than that, as always, I've been Gruffy, and I hope you're getting good as well. Just thanks again to Ultimate TCG for being the channel's first sponsor. And remember, if you want a way to support us, all you need to do is go over to Ultimate TCG's website, and when you're checking out, enter the code GruffyGG1021, and they'll net you 3% off. So if you're looking to pre-order any of the new boxes, drops them to just over £70, or anything else TCG related, it is a minimum order of £20, and it's one use per customer. But it's just a way for you to support me by supporting them over at Ultimate TCG.